Hello. So today I will be exploring the renewable energy ecosystem in Australia. So, what is this ecosystem, you may ask? Well, we all have energy that powers basically everything we use these days. But this energy has got to come from somewhere, right? And that's the grid. It basically holds and transfers all of our electricity. So, this has to be given power, though, this grid. And since inception, that's been given by fossil fuels. But obviously, with the move towards sustainability in our world, energy grid must also be sustained by renewable sources. So this ecosystem is quite a niche market, I'd say, encompassing various players and resources where supportive infrastructures and independent actors facilitate the scene. So our ecosystem is quite uniquely characterized actually because we always hear that Australia is quite behind in the sustainability scene. However, in this specific ecosystem, we're currently like world leaders in some areas because we're actually tasked in sustaining the grid basically only with variable renewables such as like wind and solar power compared to current market leaders who are known for being quite sustainable and quite progressive, where they're sustained basically by controllable variable resources like hydro and nuclear power, where we don't have dams that much and nuclear's not around in Australia. So let's go to the key players in this market, I'd say, in this ecosystem. So there are several key actors within this ecosystem. AEMO, which oversee the entire grid, the National Energy Market or the Western Energy Market operate the grid, the Clean Energy Council, which regulates the grid and offers support policies, EPC contractors who provide expertise in project management, engineering design, and construction services, project developers and investors who identify and finance and manage renewable energy projects such as Downer, and consultants like Gridlink, who offer specialized services in basically anywhere, any type of area in the ecosystem. So the key players in this ecosystem, according to the BEEP framework, are quite complex as they have some aspects overlaying with each other, like say policy, for example. AMO, the National Energy Market, the Clean Energy Council, and even project developers all collaborate together to advocate policies. Finance is basically done by the NEM, which provides a platform for the ecosystem. Support, once again, basically done by AMO and the Clean Energy Council, who offer support to other stakeholders. Culture is basically the whole ecosystem, I'd say. Human capital, project developers, and investors definitely who provide the financing to these projects, and the market, where AMO and the national and Western energy markets basically operate the entire grid. I'd say social network theory highlights the importance of relationships and interactions among these actors, and this contributes to that dynamic nature of the ecosystem. Like, look, collaboration by these actors, it drives innovation and resilience. AMO collaborates with stakeholders to ensure grid reliability. The Clean Energy Council facilitates knowledge exchange and policy advocacy. Look at competition; it's actually quite healthy as well because it fuels innovation and fuel and cost reduction, shaping market dynamics. See, like competition within NEM, for example, drives innovation and cost reduction in the renewable energy generation. So I'd say also we have critical resources. So using the VRIO framework, we can identify these resources. But I'd say it's important to note that while this is a good framework, it does lack practicality. So what are the resources? I'd say capital, obviously, for funding renewable energy projects, talent for skilled workforces, the skilled workforce who expertise in the area, and technology, of course, access to renewable energy technology to sustain the grid. As this is a highly dynamic ecosystem, key stakeholders such as AMO, NEM, project developers possess all these capabilities and effectively use them to navigate dynamic changes in the renewable energy ecosystem and drive sustainable growth. So, I'd say a significant development in the ecosystem is South Australia's rise as a global leader in the energy transition, actually leading the world in several key aspects. South Australia has basically gone from complete coal powered grid in 2008 all the way up to 70% with zero coal powering today, which is actually a world leader in variable energy. This has a significant influence on the ecosystem on a national level as it's actually shifted power dynamics, empowering developers in realizing that there's also a market to be profited of with positive implications. Moreover, this development actually presents positive implications for stakeholders with more opportunities for developers to invest in projects around the nation, having South Australia as a model of success. Potential challenge, however, I'd say is understanding that South Australia obviously had some key variables and circumstances that helped it, like the amount of energy demand for South Australia is considerably lower than Melbourne or Sydney. Like those are cities compared to a state, but completely different. Furthermore, the pure reliance on variable energy serves as a hindrance currently still. Like the 70% benchmark is the average from the best days powering well over 100% to the worst day, which was under 20%. So, like, considering the variability issue and the scale difference, project developers and investors will, of course, be impacted by investor confidence. However, I'd say with the ongoing technological advancements and more project developers engaging in the scene, these concerns are slowly being addressed. So, the challenge that is currently and will be influencing the ecosystem in the next 5 years is the grid connection. That's also South Australia's one. But the next slide will be about the next challenge. So the next a challenge that's currently and will be influencing the ecosystem in the next 5 years is the grid connection aspect. Because it's not just as simple as stopping grid connection between the grid and the fossil fuels and just reconnecting it to the renewables. The existing grid is remaining in place and was designed to seamlessly connect with fossil fuels. So the connection to renewables are quite tough as it was never intended to be there in the first place. This challenge actually extends to the shortage of demand, actually, in supply, actually, in the industry of grid connection engineers and specializations within AMO and lack of consultants, too. This is basically insufficient technology advancements and insufficient training programs. And this imbalance between demand and supply result in project delays, increased costs, uncertainties for developers and investors in the ecosystem. To address these issues, I'd say a multifaceted strategy involving education, training, and industry collaboration is imperative. Stakeholders such as NEM, AMO, the Clean Energy Council, and even developers need to start having initiatives to enhance workforce skills and streamline regulatory processes. Industry collaboration should encompass all the key stakeholders in order to grow this ecosystem in what it should be one day 100% renewable energy sourcing Australia. Thank you.